Hi, this is Chris Long at Lakeview Cottage Kids, and today's tutorial is all about how to make the little crocheted pumpkin. And in order to do this, you need a number 4 weight yarn, and in this case it's Vanna's Choice in a tweed, and you need an eye hook. And again, you can experiment with different weights of yarn and different sizes of hooks, but in order to get the size and look of the pumpkin that I've pictured here on the blog or on YouTube, you need to use this particular weight and size. Now, in order to start, just leave a little bit, maybe 4 or 5 inches of a tail, and make your slip stitch. Put that on your hook. We're using the eye hook as I mentioned. And what we are going to do, according to the pattern, is to make 17 chains. So there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So there we have our 17 chains. And what we're going to do next is go into the second stitch from the hook and do a single crochet. And from there, we will do a single crochet in each chain across the row. So just do single crochet. Now, if you're a person who likes to do a foundation single crochet, you're more than welcome to use that. That would work fine, but not totally necessary here because it really doesn't have to be super stretchy. Now, in the beginning, these types of things like to curl up, and it's a little bit hard to hold, but as you go along, it'll get a lot easier. But these first rows are always a little bit tricky and have to kind of take your time. And again, we should end up with 16 single crochets. Now we chained 17, but because we went into the second chain from the hook, then we will only have 16. But from now on, we will always have 16 stitches. So there we are with our 16 single crochets. Now you do chain 1 and turn, and then in the very first single crochet, we are going to go under both parts of the stitch like usual for a single crochet. Make our first single crochet, and that was in the first stitch. Now, because we want to get a ribbing for our pumpkin, the rest of the stitches until the very last one will all be in the back loop of the single crochet. So it's a single crochet in the back loop only, and that's what we'll do all the way across. So in the back loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet, back loop, single crochet. And if you're unfamiliar with what I mean by these loops, take a look at the top, and you've got, here I'll move my hook. You can see that right along here they look like little V's all the way across. That's normally where you would just go under both parts of the V. But in the single crochet back loop only, you only go into the back loop, or as you look at it, it's the left hand part of the V. So we're going to go through that on each stitch. And you'll already be able to see that it's making a ridge. And this is not only a fun way to do a pumpkin, but you can use this kind of stitch on a garment, you can use it on hats, scarves, all different kinds of projects. So it's really a good thing to know about. And again, it's called single crochet in the back loop only, the abbreviation SCBLO. And there we go. Now you'll remember the very first stitch I mentioned to go under both parts of the V. I'm going to do that on the last stitch also. And what that does, it kind of gives you a nice flat area to be able to gather this up later on. So I would say go under both parts of the V on the first stitch and the last stitch, and you'll get a much more neat looking piece of fabric. So there's row 2, and we are starting to get a ridge right along here. Now we're going to do 1 chain, turn, and again the very first one we are going to put it under both parts of the V and do a single crochet, and then single crochet, back loop only, all the way across. And we are going to continue this very same stitch pattern for 25 rows. And that's going to be enough to give us our whole little pumpkin. So we'll finish up this row. There we go. And we're all the time in the back loop only until that last stitch, and then it's under both parts of the V for a regular single crochet. And again, now you can see that we are getting that ridge, and we'll end up with ridges all the way across the fabric. Now we chain 1 and do the exact same thing until we have 25 rows. So I'll let you work on that. I'll work on mine, and I'll be back in a little bit with 25 rows.